After what has been transpiring as of late now, we got the chance to contact the police officers once more. Now the police department out there are doing what they can, doing everything under their own power to make sure that they're going to combat the power that the killer clowns have. Remember, the killer clowns have been gearing up for October 31st. That is the day everyone's been talking about because of the purge that is expected to happen on that night, Halloween night, where the killer clowns are going to be delivering attacks all over the globe in every single country. Now, we did talk to the police officers as mentioned, and the police officers very candidly told us that they are now hunting down the killer clowns, including the leader, Boo Boo the Clown. We're going to go ahead and take you to the interview right now. So we're wasting little time. We're going to go ahead and cut right to the chase. Here is the interview with the police officers here. We kicked off the interview with the first question being, what's the latest report of the killer clowns? They responded saying, first off, we have sent out curfews for some communities out there. We have some communities not letting citizens out after 8 p.m. The latest report we have is we are now placing those responsible on a wanted list. We understand that these individuals dressed in clown outfits are posing a major threat in our communities, and we will do what we can to protect our citizens. Very good answer here. Of course, the next question was, how confident are you guys in making sure that you guys get those responsible, even the leader, Boo Boo? He did respond saying, we will take all preliminary measures needed to make sure that we get those responsible. We understand that these individuals have a leader that goes by the name Boo Boo. We are aware of the threats made by that certain individual, and our team is monitoring any active threats. You can see here the next question is, are you guys at all worried for any future attacks? They responded saying, we are always actively looking at any potential threats that may pose a risk at our areas. We do what we can to protect our communities and continue to have them live in a danger-free zone. There's always going to be some form of threat, but it is our job to minimize those threats so we keep all our citizens safe as possible. Thank goodness. Of course, the next question being, what would you want to send out to anybody that may be concerned? And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there concerned. Thankfully, they responded saying, quote, we advise those concerned that it would be best for your safety to follow the curfew rules placed in certain communities and to be on the lookout. Police officers are on standby 24/7, and please do not hesitate to contact us if you see anything out of the ordinary. For those concerned, please make sure to stay safe and always report something that doesn't seem right. Of course, the next question, in fact, the final question here, does say, quote, do you think the killer clowns will ever back down? And before I read the answer here, I gotta say, the killer clowns have a very strong message, a strong ideological message that they're following, and that right there is concerning. But let's go ahead and read the message here. They said, quote, our priority is to always keep our communities safe, no matter how long they'll be around. Based on what they've been saying, these individuals are expected to stick around longer than what we anticipate. We do have the resources to minimize any threats coming our way. Our duty is to always protect those who are in need. So that concludes the interview with the police officers, the police department here. And then it's now time to break down exactly what we've been talking about over the past couple of minutes. First off, of course, the clowns out there, the killer clowns, have made it very apparent that they're not going to be going down without a fight. They made it apparent that no matter how many police officers there are, they're going to do what they can to try to surround the police officers, to eliminate them one by one, to do what they can to try to steal their weapons and actually grow stronger from there. But if there's one thing that I have confidence in, I got to tell you, there are a lot more police officers, a lot more trained officers out there that, well, perhaps could actually absolutely obliterate the killer clowns. Over the past couple of weeks, the killer clowns have been saying that the police officers are weak, that they're, quote, pigs, but I don't believe that. And I believe the killer clowns have a huge, huge enemy right in front of them, and those are indeed the men and women who are wearing blue and black. But ladies and gentlemen, I gotta tell you something. The thing that concerns me just a bit is how these killer clowns, despite the fact that they're being put on watch lists, despite the fact that they're being put on wanted lists as well, they're not stopping. You would imagine that at this point, the killer clowns would say, you know what, this is actually getting out of hand. We're being put on wanted posters here. You know what? We're going to go ahead and back down. They're not scared. And that's the thing that concerns me. They are making sure that they're going to fulfill their destiny. They're not going to stop. They're not going to sit back down anytime soon. These killer clowns are going to make sure that they're going to continue to purge. They're going to continue to attack. They're going to continue to be around until every single human being in this planet is no longer around. And that's the concerning part. I mean, when is enough enough? Do these killer clowns know when to stop? Because they don't, and they're that delusional. And that's what scares me here, how we have delusional men dressed in clown outfits out there who are literally willing to cause destruction just because of their troubled past. So, I mean, we're going to find out what's going to happen. I know there's a lot of people who are worried, and there's a lot of people out there that are completely scared, and don't worry, I'm scared with you all the way. And sometimes when I go to sleep at night, I'm just thinking about these killer clowns, what they're going to be having in mind next, what they're going to do next. We already talked about the cinema that was under attack a couple of days ago by the killer clowns themselves, and the killer clowns are not stopping. We talked about how the malls are going to be under attack as well. And now the killer clowns are being put on wanted posters now, on wanted lists. The police officers now have curfews for some communities out there, and that's a good step in the right direction. Hopefully all communities around the world have that curfew, that nobody can step out of their houses after 8 p.m. because that's when the killer clowns tend to linger around. They tend to be around in the streets at around 8 p.m., 9 p.m. at nighttime when people are usually vulnerable, when they're usually alone, and that's what these killer clowns are looking to do. So it's going to be important for everyone watching the video to understand that it's not going to be safe for you to be going out of the house alone at nighttime. In fact, I would just say that once you go to job or once you go to the workplace or your school or whatever the case, just go back home and keep yourself inside, keep yourself occupied inside your house until the day is over, because who knows what the killer clowns are going to do next. We have no idea what they have in mind next. What I do know is that they are indeed hell-bent in making sure that they're going to abduct and attack and knock down every single person. Before we go off air here, I got to say, the police officers, thankfully, they have all the preliminary measures that they're going to follow. Not just that, but also they have a plan going, and they are monitoring the situation to make sure that everyone is going to be safe. Remember, their top priority is to make sure every single person in every single community out there is indeed safe, and to rectify any issues that may be ongoing, any issues that may be posing a threat in society. So thankfully, the killer clowns, again, they're dangerous, all right, but at least the police officers at this point in time, at this juncture, have a plan against them. Thanks for joining us, everybody. As mentioned, make sure to watch the Killer Clown tips. A couple of weeks ago, we uploaded the video on the Gaming Weekly. Just make sure to follow the tips to follow and basically survive the Killer Clown Purge, expected to happen on the 31st of October. Make sure to share the video all over on Twitter, on YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, Discord, whatever platform you use. And make sure to tell your friends, your family members, your teachers out there, because the more that people understand what's going on, the better we have a chance in surviving the Killer Clown Purge on October 31st. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We will catch you next time, and we will continue the Killer Clown coverage happening as we get set for more news. Thanks for joining us.